What's going on, guys? Coach Joe here at the Lions Den, and I'm finally back in the USA, coming back from the Ukraine where I represented Team USA at Team Worlds for strongman in the under 105 class. So you had to be under 232 pounds. Now, this was an awesome competition, an amazing experience for me, so I want to recap it. So if you guys are interested in this whole thing, stick around. If not, watch one of my other videos, but let's dive into it right now. So kind of just to recap, I actually did a weight cut. I started at 255 and I cut all the way down to 227 on the day of weigh-ins, which was absolutely insane. It's the most weight I've ever cut, but I'm getting better at it, learning to embrace the suck, manipulate things like sodium, carbs, food intake, water, you name it. And so that was finally, exciting for me to go through all the travel that we did. It was about 24 hours each way to get there and back. And the first, going there, I had nothing in my system, so it was just feeling pretty crappy, to be honest with you, but weighed in 227, very good. So kind of just moving right on into it, I was on a team with 3 other guys, Dan Caraway, Matt Cooney, and Andrew Jimenez, and they had all placed, at nationals at a high placing, so that's kind of how the team was organized and thrown together. So the way that the events worked is we actually had 6 events instead of a traditional 5-event strongman competition, which I thought was pretty interesting, and it took place on 2 days. So we competed on Friday, rested Saturday, and then again on Sunday. And I'm kind of going to just go through each event, what I thought about it from a team aspect as well as individually, and kind of give you guys the overall take on it. So the first event we did was a medley, and the medley was a yoke walk, about 800 pounds for about 65 feet. You sprint back, tag your partner who then has a frame carry, then they sprint back to tag someone else who then is going to pull a car, and then once the car has reached the end, your last person will do an arm-over-arm car pull back, and the whole thing was for time. Now for me, personally, with the yoke, I didn't drop it, and that was my main goal. I knew going into it that I need to get faster at the yoke. So my main concern was don't drop it, move at a good, comfortable pace, and sprint back as fast as possible because I knew I was a decent sprinter. And that's exactly what I did in that competition for that event, is I stayed neck and neck pretty much with the guy next to me, dropped the yoke, sprinted back, tagged my partner, and just did my job. As a whole, we didn't do that great. The reason being, I think, is just because we're just getting the jitters out. So we actually took 5th or 6th place. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it wasn't the best, and we were wasting a lot of time on the clock, but I was just happy to get the event done. Most of the time, once you get that first event out of the way, all those jitters are gone, and then we could really kick some booty and get back after it. But the other guys did awesome. They did the best they could, so it was just kind of about coming together and moving forward. Now, the second event was right at my wheelhouse and something I was really excited to do, and that was a circus dumbbell at 200 pounds. Now for this one of our teammates has to sit out, so there's 3 guys, and you can rotate through however you want to get as many reps as possible with a 200-pound circus dumbbell. Now, I had never used this circus dumbbell before. It was actually bigger than the one that I had used at nationals, and it was different placing. So I want to make sure my warm-ups, that I was getting the technique down that I needed to do, really needed to commit to this, use that push jerk, drop underneath the dumbbell, just kind of keep that momentum going. A lot of the guys too that I watched from previous years were dropping the dumbbell from overhead, and for me it looked like it was wasting a lot of time doing that. So I want to make sure that I cleaned and pressed continually, like touch and go with the dumbbell to accumulate as many reps as possible. Personally, I did really well with this event. I actually ended up getting 8 total reps for my team out of 10. So Matt had gotten 2 other ones, and Andrew, who's just trying to figure it out, wasn't there that day, but he is a really good presser and did really well at nationals. So like I said, it's just unknown variables going in with weight cuts and all sorts of different things, but we managed as a team to do really well getting 10 total reps with the circus dumbbell at 200 pounds. So I was pumped about that. Now the last event for that day, by far one of my favorite events that we did as a team. Everybody did awesome with this, and what it was 60-second time limit, 3 athletes. One athlete had a deadlift about 600 pounds, as many reps as possible. The second athlete had a squat about 550 to 600 pounds, as many reps as possible. And then what I did was the Atlas stone at 352 pounds, loading over the bar as many reps as possible in 60 seconds. And we kind of all just came together for this event. We went hard as we could for those 60 seconds. I managed 9 reps with the stone. I don't think anybody actually beat that throughout the competition, which was really cool. Andrew did awesome with the squats. He was just pounding them out, especially being a taller guy, because you had to squat down to these boxes, and when you touch the boxes, you would stand back up. So for a taller guy, you're at a little bit of a disadvantage there, but he managed to just really demolish those. And then Dan deadlifted around 600 pounds, I think like 10 or 11 times, which is unbelievable. So at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure we were in a tie for third place, which is a heck of a lot better than when we started after the first event, leading into our rest day, and then we get to compete on the third day. Now, just my overall take kind of on the Ukraine is, it was cool to compete there. Absolutely, it's my first time traveling overseas. I had never been to a foreign country, so it was very a cultural experience for me. So in our rest day, we were kind of doing things like going around. There was a festival going on that day. We were trying different food, shopping a little bit, just kind of taking the whole experience in. So for me, it was really neat to see how other people live over there. But that led into the final day, which was on Sunday. And on Sunday, the 3 events that we had, we actually started off with a pressing event, which I was stoked for because I knew we had a lot of strong pressers in our group. So what that consisted of is 60-second time limit, same type of setup as the last event on the first day, where I had to do a log clean and press at 285, as many reps as possible. Then there was a K clean and press, as many reps as possible at 225. And then there was an axle bar clean and press at 285, as many reps as possible. So for that event, for me personally, another one that went really well. I think I got 7 or 8 reps with the log, and I was really utilizing that push jerk. A lot of guys were coming up to me saying, you must have an Olympic lifting background just based on how you were training. And I was like, yep, definitely. So that really had helped me with the log. Some of the guys who did better than us were actually one motioning it. So we call that a Viper press, where it's literally a continual motion from the clean up to the press. Very impressed by that. So I want to work on that, if I ever do that in the future, to just kind of get as many reps or more reps than I did previously. But Dan, who was on the keg, is an absolute monster. He's like 6'3" or 6'4", just a beast, and he was repping that keg out. It's really cool to see him do that, especially in warm-ups. I knew we were gonna do really well at that event. And then Matt, I think, got about 3 on the axle bar clean and press, which seemed like actually a good number to hit. So once we were done with that event, we had solidified third place. Like, we were in third place, that was ours, and I was super pumped. So we just had to keep our performance for the next 2 events, and hopefully keep that standing, and that would be kind of the deal. Now, however, the event following that did not go as planned. So how this worked is, one athlete is going to do farmer walks down to the other athlete, who will then do the farmer walks back to me, and then when they tag me, I have to flip, I think it was a 900-pound tire 5 times, and then the next guy who I tag will flip it 5 times, and the time will end. Now, for this, we just end up having some issues, with the farmers, kind of just getting knocked around a little bit, too many drops, and the clock was starting to get sucked, which it is what it is. It's a long day, your hands get tired, things happen. We need to execute better on that, and I didn't do it, so they did better than I would have. But when it comes down to it, you just gotta move on, right? So I think we came in 5th place on that event, so wasn't our best performance on there. However, we're still in the fight. Okay, so it really came down to the wire on the last event, putting it all together, giving it everything we got. And the last event consisted of a frame carry with 3 athletes who are just going down and back. Each person will go 1 time as fast as possible. And I was originally supposed to sit out for this event, but after talking to the team and the guys, we had decided that I was going to try the frame out and just see how I did with it. And if I was doing all right, I wanted to hop in for them because they were doing a lot of grip events, and I just kind of wanted to be that sub in for them, give their hands a break, do the best that I could. Whatever happens, happens. So I was warming up on the frame, felt pretty good. I think the comp weight was somewhere between 600 and 700 pounds with the frame. Yet again, we're going about 65 feet. So when it came down to the wire, I hopped into the frame. I was the second guy to go. Andrew had killed it down. I mean, I was like super impressed, and like I said, all the jitters and all the, getting our weight back and everything was all taken care of. So he flew down, then came back to me. Now for me, my goal was move as fast as possible, because if you do drop it, you'll have time to recover. And if you guys remember at Nationals, I was doing the sled pull, and I actually had dropped the handles, but I was moving so fast that I could pick them up, and I still had a really good time. Same thing happened with the frame, right? I'm sprinting down as fast as I can with the frame. I actually dropped it for a second, picked it up, recouped, got to Matt. Now the most insane part, like this was like a movie scene moment here, is when I dropped the frame, Matt hops in the frame, and he's running it back. Now, the guy from the other team was actually ahead of Matt by a good distance, but for whatever reason, drops the frame. And you can just see me, I am ecstatic at this point because Matt was clocking pretty fast and I'm screaming, go, go, go. So Matt finally blows past him. We end up finishing, kind of nail biter, like what place are we in? What just happened? You know, did we make it? And we did. We ended up getting 3rd place. So that was kind of the icing on the cake for me. The Ukraine guys and the Poland guys, they were the first and second battle. So Poland ended up taking 1st place. Bunch of machines on that team. Like everybody on there were studs. Those guys were top 10 in the world as individuals. And then I think the Ukraine guys had some top 10 in the world guys on their team as well for the 105. So it was Poland, Ukraine, and us for 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. But like I said, overall, it's just an amazing experience for so many reasons, you know, and challenging myself, getting to work with amazing guys. You know, Matt, Andrew, Dan, you guys are phenomenal athletes, and it was such a pleasure and a blast for working with you. You know, thank you to the Ukraine for kind of hosting us and doing everything there. You know, we got our meals taken care of and travel, like all that stuff. So just very overwhelmed with gratefulness and just what a cool experience. You know, we got to meet guys from all over the world, the UK, Czech, Canada. You know, it was very, very, very cool. So I'm excited to kind of moving forward with what I'm trying to do and where I'm trying to head. But I just want to say thank you to everybody that has supported me, right? We'll kind of watch this journey. It's cool because of YouTube. You guys have documented since I started Strongman, and in the last year of where I have been. I got to talk to a lot of experienced athletes over the weekend and get their thoughts on, you know, where I should head, what I should do. So really, after sitting down and talking about it with everybody, I want to get my pro card. That's kind of the moving forward goal is just going to train for nationals, no competitions until nationals, get as strong as possible. Then from there, I want to get my pro card and see where things go. So I know it's a big statement. I'm excited. I'm willing to accept that challenge, put in the work to get there. But I would love to get my pro card in Strongman and just tear it up, you know, in the 105. So that's my main goal. But like I said, guys, I'm super pumped. I'm excited. I'm grateful. You know, it's very eye-opening when you travel somewhere else, you know, and kind of get your world shocked with how things are in different places. But I'm just happy, and like I said, I'm just pumped. So thanks so much, guys, for tuning in this video. Hopefully you guys thought the comp recap was pretty cool. Give me any feedback, questions down below. Lots of good stuff coming out in the future. I know this video wasn't, you know, the most entertaining, but I want to show you guys that I practice what I preach. I put in the work, and this can be anybody, right? I'm just a regular dude who's got a lot of discipline, hard work ethic, and getting after it. And also, before I forget, I didn't forget. I want to say thank you so much to Alan Thrall, Coach Thrall. He's been helping me with programming since February. We've had this competition, then we had New York record breaker, and we also had nationals. So he's coached me for 3 competitions, been me the whole way through the ups and the downs, through me whining and complaining or talking about pain that I've been feeling, and has just helped me in so many ways. So I just want to say how grateful I am and thankful I am for him to help me out with all that stuff, and just pretty much been there to get me to where I am today. So thank you so much, Alan. You are the man. I'm pretty sure you guys are all following him or watching his stuff already, because he's up there. He's like a godfather on the fitness YouTubes. So thanks, Alan. And I actually get to go out to see Alan in 2 weeks. So we'll be collaborating together with a bunch of other guys that you guys know about. So lots of good stuff coming. As well as I have a Brian Alsrew seminar that is going to be December 1st. So if you guys want to kick it with me and Mr. Alsrew, who got me into Strongman, you know, another guy I really want to say thank you to, because without him, I probably would still be doing Olympic lifting, or I'd be working at a strip club or something like that. Just kidding about the strip club. I'm not into that. If you guys are interested in the Brian Alsrew seminar, make sure you guys click the link down below, register for that. Barbell medicine seminar, I think, is sold out, but that'll be at my gym November 11th and 12th. So there'll be content that you'll see about that whole thing going down. Lots of future collaborations with some really awesome people. So I'm just pumped, man. I'm really just grateful, and life's just amazing. So enjoying it the best I can. Go out there, guys, kick some booty, take some names, be a lean, mean strength machine. I'll catch up with you guys next time.